Stafford, again, I don't think he's 100% healthy, but hopefully last night people saw a little bit of, what Matthew Stafford can be when he is somewhat close to his 100% A game. I mean, he made some throws in the game last night that are just, they're legit. I don't know what else to say. He has only a handful of quarterbacks in football that be able to throw that, put that on the money like that. And he had a few throws like that throughout the game that were, difference makers, where you went, ooh, wait, that moment there. Oh, the Cardinals have the momentum. Oh, whoa, what a throw to Cooper Kupp on a deep crossing route later in the game. So that was good to see, too. And it just felt like the Rams got their mojo back last night, even though undermanned and backed into a corner. And that was cool to say. This throw, I mean, that was great coverage. What a throw. Low and outside, paints the corner there. I mean, great catch, but good to see from Matt Stafford, who a lot of people, of course, have questioned, and rightly so, over the last few weeks. This is the other throw I was talking about. I mean, 1st and 20, drop it in the bucket like that. I mean, come on, that was really, really special in a big moment of the football game there. So the Rams had it all going, and like we said, it was Cooper Kupp, Odell, Stafford, Van Jefferson. Their stars, the guys that they put all their assets into, showed up, and that's what they're going to have to continue to do down the stretch.
I think a big part of it, too, they have adjusted now to the absence of Robert Woods.
Yeah.
The torn ACL. The
right.
same day that Odell Beckham Jr. put pen to paper on his contract, they lose Robert Woods, and the offense gets kind of thrown into discombobulation. There was something I noticed, though. I want to see this again. I may be wrong.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be the first time this morning, frankly, that I've been wrong about something. The play to Van Jefferson, can we see that again? Because I saw something that reminded me of something, but then there's a key difference there. Watch Matthew Stafford on this rollout that we've seen Jared Goff do many times in this offense. But the way that Stafford uncorks the ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to kind of stop and set up. He is set up, but he kind of
does it on the move. You're right. He
does it so quickly.
Right.
That was what they didn't have with Jared Goff. Goff, when he got on the rollout like that, needed a little more time to get himself set.
Yeah.
And if you're Goff and you need a little more time to get yourself set, you see somebody bearing down on him and maybe he doesn't make that throw.
Right.
That's a subtle little difference between Stafford and Goff.
No doubt. Subtlety of escaping the pressure, subtlety of getting that ball off, and maybe being the difference of the coverage not getting there on the throw. I mean, again, it wasn't the worst coverage in the world. The fact that Stafford kind of threw it out the back door on the safety there, who got a little obsessed with the bright lights of Odell Beckham Jr. coming across the middle underneath, and all of a sudden he went, wait, I think I'm supposed to be back deep. Thompson, 34, who's a phenomenal football player. But you're right, Mike. I mean, that's what makes him special. That's why you hear people like me and other people who watched football and are into the quarterback nuances. Stafford has an arm that's an all-time arm. It is. And, yeah, that's Mahomes or Rodgers or Josh Allen-ish, where it's like, yeah, they don't really need to set up. He was kind of on the move and still fading away, and he just put his foot in the ground all in one motion and let it go and throws a perfect spiral that way. And similar on that other great Cooper Kupp play. But it showed the explosiveness and the potential, what they have on the offensive side of the ball there. And hopefully this will give them the confidence to keep it rolling, because they are fun to watch. And I want the Rams to be good because of some of the personalities, the stars of the team, have the theme of, can another team host the Super Bowl, a home team? I want all those things to stay alive, and they're going to make the NFC playoffs interesting now if they can roll the way they did last night.
And I remember when we first started doing this 4+ years ago, and you ranked quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And Matthew Stafford was number 3 for you. And I remember thinking, is this guy high? And there probably was a good chance
not at work, but maybe when I was doing the list that night or something.
You always have a little bit that's floating around in there. It takes a little while for the THC to dissipate. But I'm thinking number 3 for Matthew Stafford. And then he started to creep down,
right,
and down.
Went to 6 and
down.
8 and 11, and somewhere in there. Yeah, right.
But we're seeing it start to pay off, and it's. We see how the season kind of flows. Like you've got your stuff that you do early in the year that works, and the Rams are 7-1, and then you're gonna hit. It's not always going to be wire to wire greatness, especially with 17 games.
Right
now, we're seeing the Rams start to claw out of maybe that lull where defenses were starting to figure them out and they needed to do things a little bit of a different way. And that was just a huge win for them last night against the best team in football. The team that I think a lot of us were afraid to pick against because every time I had, they had proved me wrong. They just kept rolling and rolling and rolling. And
hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.